As easy as it is to blame everybody else for why you hate your own natural hair, at the end of the day, you have to take some responsibility for what you consume during your free time that can contribute to the negative self-talk. For instance, the people you follow online. Do they even look like you? Do they talk down on people who look like you? The people you surround yourself with, are they always making you the butt of the joke? All these things we have control over, and this video is going to help you figure out what needs to change in your life so that you can start being more confident in your natural state. There are many factors that can contribute to low self-esteem, and this video will go over a few of them that contribute to negative self-talk when it comes to your natural hair. Most Black women have had some horrible childhood experience with hairdressers, even our own mothers doing our hair because of how rough they would be or how tight they would handle our hair. For some, their mothers would even make nasty comments about their hair and how it was tough to handle, nappy, whatever horrible thing you can think of, they have heard it whenever they got their hair done. And so for some Black women, every time we get our hair done, whether it would be to relax it or to getting braids, we always associated our hair with pain and struggle. So I completely understand why some Black women are afraid of learning about their natural hair because they think throwing on a wig is less stressful. And I also understand why other Black women still relax their hair or went back to relaxers because that is all they know. For some Black women, it may be easier to remain in that situation even if it is not the most beneficial because of familiarity and the fear of going on a natural hair journey, which is more on the scarier side for most because it is a new and unfamiliar experience that comes with unlearning everything you know about yourself and starting afresh. I think it's really important that we acknowledge the trauma that we've faced when it comes to our hair. I think it's very important that we acknowledge the struggles that we face when it comes to accepting our natural hair and stop pretending like we do not have self-esteem issues when it comes to coily hair, afro-textured hair especially. And once we acknowledge these things, I think it would be easier for us to then find solutions to the problems that we're facing. The reason why I say it's important for us as Black women to acknowledge this trauma is that we will then be able to recognize patterns and behaviors that were present during that time, and we'll be able to not make the same mistakes that people around us made. So when we're dealing with children's hair, let's say if you have kids, you won't be as rough as people were with your hair. You'll be able to be more gentle, and therefore the next generation's experience will be with natural hair will be a lot better than what we've had. And so being able to recognize your trauma will help you heal, and it will help you recognize that you were never the problem. Your hair was never the problem. It's how people handled it that was the problem. When it comes to 4C hair, coily hair being represented in the media, we all know it's never in good light. We rarely see people with type 4 hair in the media. It's either when it's long, whether it's type 4A, or if there is coily hair or 4C hair, oftentimes it's not really managed well or styled very well. So I think it's our job to start representing ourselves when it comes to social media and all those platforms. We can't always complain about not being catered to. There are many channels like the ones that I'm showing on the screen right now. There are many channels that cater to coily haired people, dark-skinned people, people who look like us. And so you need to start finding these channels. You need to start following people who have either your skin color or your hair texture, and stop waiting for the media to start representing you, because we all know that's not really going to happen, or if that's going to happen, it's going to take a very long time for it to get there to a point where we are happy with what they are producing. So we need to start supporting our own people and stop spending so much time and energy on people who don't look like you. It's okay to maybe follow others for maybe fashion sense and all of those things, but if you get upset by not having people who look like you online, then you need to take responsibility by stop following those people who make you feel insecure and find channels that will support your hair texture, that will support your skin color, people who showcase your own natural beauty. So you need to start being more aware of the content that you're consuming and stop blaming everybody else for being well represented while you're not. There are many, many channels out here for us, and you need to start following those channels. When it comes to dealing with family members who always speak negatively, it can be a bit tricky because you can't, especially if you live with them, you can't just cut them off, right? So it's very important for you to set boundaries about what you're comfortable with and what you're not. And so let your family members know, I do not appreciate those jokes you make about me or those comments you make about my hair. And so you need to be able to set boundaries with your family members and let them know the truth about how you feel about certain things. However, when it comes to friends, I feel like you can cut certain friends off, especially if they're always making fun of you for not following certain trends. For instance, let's say you guys like to go out and you don't wear wigs and weaves, and so they're always making comments about you not looking good and all of that. You need to cut those people off. Those are not your friends. Your friends will always find ways to uplift you, and they will always be there for you in every journey that you're in, including your natural hair journey. If your friends are not supportive, those are not your friends, those are your enemies. If you have made the decision that you want to embrace your natural hair and you want to go on this journey, then your friends should be able to support you. Even if they are not on the same journey, even if they wear wigs and weaves, they should be able to support you. You need to be very careful about the people that you have around you. We always talk about this. I'm sure we've heard many conversations about this, about people cutting friends off who, say things about their family or say things about their relationship. Why can't you cut people off if they say something negatively constantly about you and your natural hair? Why do we struggle to cut those ties with those people when it comes to embracing your natural hair? The more you surround yourself with positivity, the easier it will be for you to walk in this journey and be able to love yourself, love the way that you look, love your hair as well. If you constantly have to cover your natural self around your friends, if you have to assimilate all the time, and it's not just, a lot of the times people talk about having to assimilate in an environment where it's majority white people, but there are often times where Black women have to assimilate where there's other Black women who do not look like them. So be it women who wear weaves, a lot of Black women find that they have to now wear weaves. You do not have to do that, especially around your friends. So if you have friends who make you feel that way, I think it's time that you cut those people out of your life and find a group of people who, even though they may not look like you, but will support you in your journey. The main thing is finding people who bring positive light into your life and not people who will constantly make fun of you for embracing your true self. Another reason you might be struggling with embracing your natural hair might be the environment you're in. So maybe the neighborhood you live in, or where you grew up, or maybe even your work environment. I know for some people, they might have an issue with having to wear their natural hair at work. They might struggle with that, whether that be maybe the employer makes comments about it, saying it's quote unquote unprofessional, or maybe you just feel you might get stared a bit at work. I understand all of it. I think navigating through this can also be a bit tricky. The best advice I can give you is to try learning how to style your hair, your natural hair, whether that would be just your hair or maybe having added hair extensions that are your texture as well. It's making yourself look professional with natural hair, and that is possible. You can just look at the pictures I'm showing on the screen right now. Having professional natural hair is possible. It's all about learning how to style your hair, and so I think this is the easiest way to tackle the work environment with your natural hair. And if there are times where you honestly don't know how to style your hair, I think one of the other best ways to do it is if you wear head wrap. There are so many different ways you can style your head wrap, and the best part is you don't need to have long natural hair, because I know some people, if someone mentions, oh, just wear your natural hair and style it professionally, some people will complain that maybe their hair is not long enough. With the head wrap, your hair does not need to be long enough. And also, I mentioned earlier that you can wear hair extensions that match your natural hair. And so, when it comes to your work environment or any other environment, you still get to wear your natural hair. You don't have to assimilate. You don't have to look like what everybody else wants you to look like. You can still be your natural self with your natural hair. It's all about styling. And if you're not confident as yet, put on a head wrap. You don't have to relax your hair if you don't want to. You don't have to wear a wig and weave to feel beautiful. You can be your natural self. So I feel like this last one is going to be a very straightforward point, which is very similar to having friends who don't support you or don't think you're beautiful in your natural state. Same thing applies here. If the person that you're with does not find you attractive with your natural hair, leave them. I could end the video right here, right now. Leave that person. I don't care about how much you think you love this person, but if this man or woman, whoever you're with, is constantly, not even I think sometimes people think when someone, the only way you can get someone to change the way they look or hate themselves is if you speak negatively all the time. Certain people can manipulate you in different ways. So one of the ways could be maybe only complimenting you when you're wearing a weave or a wig, constantly could be praising you if you don't look like yourself. That is also a bad thing. So if your partner is doing that to you, then clearly they don't love your natural hair. They don't love you when you look like yourself. They want you to always look different from who you are. And so again, leave them. There's been a lot of conversations before about black men don't like women with natural hair or they only like a certain texture or anything like that. Why would you want to be with someone who thinks like that? Why would you want to change yourself to attract that person? I would think that if I come across a person who does not like the way that I look, instead of me changing every single detail about me, every single thing about me, I am going to not be with that person. I'm going to avoid that person at all costs. So instead of trying to change yourself to get this person to like you, how about you continue being yourself and you will eventually find someone who likes you for who you are, for what you look like. And so I don't understand this whole thing of, oh, men don't like me because I don't look like this. It's fine if they don't like you. There is a group of men who do. I personally believe that there are black men who do love natural hair, type 4 hair. They do love it, whether it's short, whether it's long, any length, they do love natural hair. And so instead of focusing your energy on men who don't find you attractive and trying to convince them that you are by changing who you are, rather find men who will take a look at you and appreciate your natural beauty. With all this being said, the point of this video is to help you recognize things in your life that might contribute to how you feel about your natural hair. However, it does not take away from the fact that you do have control over all these situations. You have to stop allowing everybody else dictate how you feel about yourself. I've been there and I've had to work through it. And one of the ways is by finding channels I've mentioned earlier, finding channels that showcase people who look like you, people who have hair like you, and hopefully this channel can be that for you. And so it's important that we stop feeling sorry for ourselves and start taking action in finding ways in which we can be more confident. The only opinion that matters when it comes to how you feel about your natural hair is your own. Don't let other people convince you that your hair is not beautiful, it's not professional, or anything of that sort. Your hair is beautiful, your natural hair, your type 4 hair is gorgeous, and you need to be more proud of it and wear it out more often and learn how to take care of it as well.